Cheers, my friends. Welcome back to the train wreck we call Pour Judgement, a show where a group of us lovable idiots come together to find you the absolute best wine, beer, and spirits at everyday great values. I'm Daniel Rudder, and I'm joined by my good friends.
I am Mike.
I'm Dan.
And unfortunately, our good friend Tarek is not able to join us today. Would like to say we're sad to see he's not here, but screw that guy, because he's making us look bad, because he's right every time.
Mr. 3 for 3 is not here.
So screw him, but cheers to him anyway. We miss you, and we look forward to our next get-together when he will be back. On our last episode of Pour Judgement, we got together and tried three great and good value bourbons: the Evan Williams, Maker's Mark, and Buffalo Trace. If you haven't seen that episode, click the card above and give it a watch. We'd appreciate it. We thought it'd be fun to follow up that episode with using those same bourbons and making some classic cocktails. So what are we drinking, Mike?
Well, we're starting out today with the Boulevardier, which is a drink that Dan and I have come to enjoy.
We're quite fond of.
Quite fond of. It is a twist on the classic Negroni, but it substitutes bourbon for gin. It's your classic 3-ingredient cocktail. It's got your booze, which is your Evan Williams bourbon. It's got your aromatics, which are the Compari, which is a kind of a bitter Italian aperitif type drink. It's quite lovely. And then the sweetness comes from the red vermouth. In this case, we're using Foro. I don't really know a lot about vermouths, but this is an Italian red vermouth. And it's basically one part of each ingredient. You stir it up, you put in some ice, you throw in an orange slice, and you're off to the races. So,
all right.
Boulevardiers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Now, Mike, I know you said we probably drank this together, which I don't doubt you.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I've ever had one of these.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
Very excited to give this a try.
So the bourbon gives it a much more sort of rounded, warm flavor. That when you make it with the gin, it's a little bit more crisp, a little bit more. It's a very popular. What do they call it? Aperitif.
The Negroni is a little more bitter, and I'm still getting bitterness from the Compari. And I recall having both Negronis and Boulevardiers with you,
yes,
Mr. Delisio.
Simultaneously, perhaps.
Yes, you commenting that the Compari gives the bitterness that matches your soul, which I appreciate. But it's delicious.
It is.
So the Negroni is with gin?
It substitutes, it uses gin instead of bourbon. And gin, depending on, whether you get a really dry gin or, gin can have a little bit of a juniper bite to it. It can have a sort of a minty, piney kind of flavor. But it is much more of a crisp drink. This is I think the bourbon kind of rounds it out a little bit. Maybe adds a little bit more sweetness.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. A little bit more sweetness, a little bit more flavor to the palate. And the Evan Williams was from last episode. Evan Williams surprised me at how highly we rated it compared to Makers.
Crowd pleasing.
Yes.
Yeah. Budget. Yeah. and the vermouth again. I mean, there are people that will, the vermouth is something that you can get very, very inexpensively, or you can pay a lot of money for it. I think it is a flavored or a seasoned kind of red wine. This has got 16.5% alcohol. What's the alcohol content of the Compari?
24%.
Okay, so neither of those are really, really strong. The Evan, of course, I think is it 80 proof? It's 86 proof. So that's where most of your alcohol is coming from.
Okay.
Compari, that brings a lot of the herbal bitterness. It also has, I think, a tremendous amount of sugar in it, but you just can't tell because the bitterness
because of how bitter it is.
Is overwhelming.
Yeah.
But someone told me there's more sugar in a shot of Campari than there is in a shot of like Coca-Cola, which is
fascinating.
Yeah.
And so it's comparing, starting off with the Boulevardier, comparing to both the other two cocktails we're about to do, the Manhattan and the Old Fashioned. We are going to be using bitters, but here we've got Compari instead. And I'll also just chime in, like I until we all started doing our whiskey tasting parties a few years back. I didn't know anything about vermouth. So as we started branching off into doing mixed cocktails way back when, I didn't realize there were such a variety of just vermouths.
Yeah.
So it's a fascinating rabbit hole to go down to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you been finding any that you like in particular?
I can't tell the difference, really. They all taste delicious. Like Mr. Deliso says, 5 out of 5 would drink again.
Some people will just have a glass of vermouth, which is something that usually you don't see. And I have heard, beware the vermouth that's clearly been sitting out on the bar for years.
Oh.
I do think that once you open it up, you do want to probably put it in the refrigerator or something and consume it relatively quickly. I do know that, some bars, maybe they don't serve a lot of vermouths. It's more of a shot in a beer kind of place. And that vermouth might have been there for years.
It goes after a while.
I think like any wine, right? Once you start that oxidization,
Yep. So we know the flavor components of the Evan Williams from our last episode. Pretty traditional, a little bit of the honey, brown sugar, that sort of thing. So vermouth being wine based, I mean, is that does it taste like a stronger wine? Or if we had some glasses, we could just give it a shot.
Science.
Well, I'm curious because again, I'm newer to this. And the same with Compari. Beyond the bitterness, you kind of said there's some herbal characteristics to it.
Well, I think that's where I think it's the sort of bitter herbs and roots and things that they use. I don't know. It doesn't really have much in terms of like marketing. I think Compari, it's kind of if you know, right? I think it's they don't need to sort of spend a lot of time describing what it is. The vermouth also, this Foro brand, I don't really, again, it just says it's from Torino. It's crafted with pride in the Piedmont region, and it's got a selection of thoughtfully chosen herbs and botanicals. It's perfectly suited to be an integral part of well-made, delicious cocktails. Again, this was kind of middle of the road. You can get like the cheaper stuff for on the order of $6 or $7 a bottle. And then you can go up to $30, $40 a bottle. I think this was around, I think I paid around $15 for this.
Yeah. And I got to imagine if you're not drinking glasses of vermouth, once it's in a martini or Boulevardier or whatever, like me personally, I don't know that I could tell the difference between a $6 bottle and a $30 bottle of vermouth.
There are the people that really swear by you've got to use high quality ingredients, but I think at our level, with our palates, now maybe if Tarek were here, he could tell, but me obviously can't tell. So
delicious.
Would drink again.
If you have not had a Boulevardier, I cannot encourage you enough to either look up the recipe and mix one up for yourself. It's delicious, or go to your local favorite watering hole and order up have your mixologist mix you up a Boulevardier.
Yeah,
delicious.
Or a Negroni. They're both wonderful.
Yes.
We went with the equal quantities. I think people will tinker with that a little bit depending on personal taste. If you want a little bit more
less,
right?
Some
people like this, though. Some people want
any recommendations, variations of the recipe. By all means, respond in the comments. We'd love to hear what you have to say.
Orange is the preferred garnish. We've got orange, a little wedge of orange in there. We didn't use we just wedged it. We didn't use the rind. We didn't use lemon. We didn't use the dried stuff that's very popular now. I think when you get to the bottom and you start getting a little bit of the orange pulp, we didn't muddle it or anything like that. So then you start getting a little bit more of the orange in there. It's quite nice. Yeah.
I was just going to say, like, as I drank it down, which could purely be by the fact that I'm now almost down to the bottom as opposed to where we started.
Feeling good,
but, getting more of the orange. I'm liking the flavors a little more. Some of the bitterness. I don't always love like really bitter, but some of the bitterness has kind of dropped off, which again, it could be, started here, now down to here. But I'm definitely enjoying this a little more, and I'm getting a little more flavor from it.
And we do need to pace ourselves. We're a third of the way into it, maybe a quarter of the way into it, and it's
gonna be a long day.
It's before noon on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, but we're
sunny Southern California.
Mind you, we're doing this for our viewers. all 80 of you.
Yes,
We
that's
started
the
our
80.
day drinking early. So, cheers, my
Cheers.
friends.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, that was a great start to the cocktail.
Lovely.
All right, what are we going to next?
We'll go with the Manhattan.
All right, very excited. All right, we're back with our second cocktail. Mike,
Bing.
what are we drinking?
Well, this is a classic whiskey cocktail. This is the Manhattan, which was the favorite drink of my sainted mother. We took a little bit of a twist here. Instead of going with the bourbon, we decided to make this one with a rye. We used a Rittenhouse rye. This is 100 proof. It adds a little bit more maybe spice and bite to the drink. And so the alcohol obviously comes from the rye. The sweetness, again, we're using the 4-0 vermouth. And for the aromatics, we went with the classic Angostura bitters, the go-to sort of bitters. You garnish with a cherry. We went with a 2-to-1 ratio of the whiskey to the vermouth. Some people go as much as equal parts. My mother liked what she called a reverse Manhattan, which was 2 vermouth to 1 whiskey.
Fascinating.
So this is going to have a little bit more of an alcohol bite to it.
Okay.
We mixed it in a shaker with ice to try and chill it, and then we poured it into the glass neat. We could add ice at later if you want to get that sort of dilution going. And we garnished with the
Dark cherries.
Amarena cocktail cherries.
Let it rip.
Let it rip. Cheers, my friends.
Less talking, more drinking.
Yes.
Again, I'm new to this one. Do we drop the cherry
Whatever suits you. Whatever you can just eat it. You can. There's more in the box. So
I'll
whatever.
I'm gonna shove that baby in there.
Yeah.
Give it some cherry flavor. So I did want to with our last one, the Boulevardier, because of the Compari, the redness of the Compari. I kept thinking cherry the whole time, but I think it was just suggestive based on the color.
Really didn't taste like cherry at all.
No,
No.
not at all.
This is clearly a boozier drink. Maybe because we went with the 2-to-1 and we also went with the 100 proof rye.
Yeah.
Maybe we could stand to add a little bit more of the vermouth just to get a little bit of the sweetness.
This is exquisite.
Yeah,
it
it's
is
awfully good.
It is awful good. And the when you're shaking it, we have a stainless steel shaker. It starts to get a little frosty on the outside because the ice inside the shake. Yeah, it's just and you've got the sort of, it's very tactile, right? You've got the sound, you've got the feel. It's you've got the smells. It's just an amazing experience.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mixology.
Mixology. Yes.
So we did break from the 3 bourbons we tasted and brought in the rye, just to change it up a little bit.
Literally spice it up.
A lot of people like the rye Manhattan. I think that's the sort of, you can go with bourbon, you can go with Canadian, you can go, usually people don't mix with scotches, but my mother would sort of go with whatever was sort of least expensive. But, the Rittenhouse rye, I think is fairly well regarded. I think this one has got a very high rye content. It doesn't say, but it does say that it's the Pennsylvania style, which I believe is the high rye content. And Rittenhouse, I think, is fairly well regarded. Dan and I are big fans of George Dickel as well.
Absolutely.
Beautiful rye.
Beautiful rye.
Yeah.
And the higher the
Dan
rye,
had some custom made stuff.
I will absolutely bring at some point in the future.
maybe when we do our rye episode.
Yes, absolutely.
Excited for the rye. You've turned me on to the ryes.
Yes.
I do like the spiciness that comes from those. And so the higher the rye content, the higher the spice level?
I think so.
In theory?
Sure. Again, you're asking the guy who's gotten one right out of the entire thing.
Over.
So,
Last episode, he was over. Yes.
But guessing the correct. Guessing what's correctly in the glass. I don't know is necessarily a distinguishing mark in terms of knowing what you like and don't like and what's necessarily good. It just means that
my problem is I like it all.
That is our problem.
And join us in that problem.
Yeah.
This is an exquisite cocktail. I'm enjoying this immensely.
I'm glad you like it. It's It's again, it has a bit more of a bit more alcohol bite. Again, probably a combination of the rye plus the 100 proof, but it is lovely.
But
I've had other Manhattans that are a little bit sweeter, and the I don't know, the flavor profile of this one is perfect. It's not too sweet. And I think maybe the rye helps give it a bite. This feels like a good cocktail.
You wouldn't have gone with more vermouth then. You think the 2 to
I
1
think this
was
was
about right?
perfect.
Okay. Oh, good.
I think the only thing the only thing I'm missing is a cigar.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, could see that. I am enjoying this one more than the Boulevardier.
Okay.
And I think it's because the rye is a little more present, or it's a bit more straightforward. And I do like that. I like the bourbon to come out. I think the Compari maybe was...
it's an acquired taste.
It was a bit overwhelming for me. Like I said, towards the end of the drink, I liked it a little bit more. A bit of the orange was coming out. Where this one, I feel like I can taste
the first time
the
you
whiskey
you try it, it's like, oh, I don't think I like. But then I don't know. I found with the Negroni, it really does grow on you, and that by the
12th one,
the second or third one, you're usually quite happy.
Like all the drinks, we haven't had one that we hate.
I agree.
We just have preferences.
Absolutely.
And my preference is going more towards the Manhattan over the Boulevardier.
I'm kind of curious.
But I did like it.
It is perhaps, between the Manhattan, the Old Fashioned, and the Martini, 2 of which we will be sampling today.
Yeah.
That's like the big 3. Those are always like the top, it's sort of most popular cocktails.
Mike, I think at some point we need to do maybe a short video clip with our friend Daniel Rutter.
Absolutely.
Where we get him to try both the Negroni side by side with the Boulevardier.
Boy, that would be just
that would be great.
terrible.
Then,
but for you guys, I'll do it.
And then we can have him taste one with ice and without ice.
Maybe one with a cigar, without a cigar.
I'll just put the question out here. Do you have any gin?
No, maybe. I'll have to look. I don't think so.
Damn it.
For future reference.
Uber Eats. So on the nose too. Like this is also, I'm getting... I'm enjoying the sniff on this one.
We've got the Angostura, which is the classic. You can also I think you can get orange flavored Angostura.
Yeah.
And we also brought,
Peychaud's.
Dan and I both have Peychaud's, which is the go-to bitters for a Sazerac.
Yeah.
Which is a kind of a twist on the old fashioned.
Yeah.
Lovely drink as well.
Lovely drink.
Little absinthe.
Maybe in a future episode, in addition to the Negroni Boulevardier side by side, we'll get into some little bit more esoteric stuff. We'll do the Sazerac, and we'll do the Vieux Carré.
Oh yeah,
the Vieux Carré.
Is that a cognac drink?
That is bourbon or rye with Benedictine.
Benedictine.
Yes, and a couple other flavors mixed in there with some bitters.
I think the Sazerac is rye, cognac, absinthe, an absinthe rinse,
Rinse, yes.
And then sugar,
yes.
syrup, and Peychaud's bitters.
Yes. Yeah.
Except no substitute.
And delicious.
Peychaud's this one is kind of a classic flavor. Peychaud's tastes a little, to me, like a little reminiscent of like medicine-y. A little cough droppy,
You get the same vibe from the absinthe that you rinse the glass with. It's very
licoricey.
Yeah. Very Mix 44.
Yeah, we could for our next up are the old fashions. We could do the old fashions with the Peychaud's.
We could.
Might be an interesting twist.
Maybe we should.
Side by side? Or just...
No. But
at some point we have to drive home. So.
I don't mean today, but another short for us.
Yes, absolutely. And it's so funny, the whole aspect of mixology, that is bitters.
Yeah.
I did not realize, that bottle of bitters is like 8 ounces or 6 ounces.
Yeah.
That's $40, $50, for good quality bitters.
Yeah.
They get really pricey.
They do. And you can, I was at the store to pick up some of the ingredients here, and they have a bitter section. And, you can get You can get orange bitters. You can get celery bitters, which to
Okay.
me sounds horrible.
Sure.
But yeah.
That sounds redundant. Bitter bitters.
There's
Yeah,
stuff with, I think there's
true.
stuff with like peppers, chili peppers, and
Yeah.
things in
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Bitters has become, again, like anything. It pretty much, when you said bitters, you were getting Angostura.
Right.
Now pick from any
Right.
of 100 different.
Yeah. I don't-
But change it,
People make their own too.
give a little change to the characteristic of the drink.
Yeah.
kind of on the line of so our next cocktail is going to be the old fashioned, which is traditionally either a bourbon or a rye cocktail. I've been to a couple of restaurants that have a mezcal based old fashioned
Yeah.
with like an Aztec chocolate bitters and
Yeah.
the cane sugar
Oh,
syrup.
gosh.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah. that sounds
Garnished
great.
with like a sugar cane.
Yeah.
That would be lovely.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. All right. Well,
All right.
any suggestions our audience, our dozens of viewers have for mezcal recommendations? I think we're open for those too.
Yeah,
Maybe at some point we got to do a mezcal
Absolutely.
episode.
Yeah.
Very smoky.
Yes.
Very
Yeah.
Delicious.
We enjoyed a mezcal drink at an out of the way bar once, and it was lovely.
Interesting. I love the smokiness in the mezcal, but I found like I had a couple scotches that were I found overly peated.
You know,
And
yeah.
I didn't like the smoke on that
Yeah.
quite as much as I enjoyed the smoke on mezcal.
I agree because
Yeah.
like for me the some of the scotches, especially that are really smoky or peaty, some of them I find give me heartburn.
the
Yeah.
Islay scotches,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
the Isle.
But
yeah.
mezcal I can drink all night long.
Yeah.
Until I fall over.
I've seen you. Yeah.
It's not pretty, but I can do it.
Oh,
All right.
All right.
anyway.
Well, this is a great,
Yes. Thank
great
you.
second one.
great second one.
All right. On to our third.
On to our third.
And we're back with our final cocktail of the day, the classic old fashioned. Mike, you want to tell us about it?
Absolutely. So again, this is a crowd pleaser. This is a classic cocktail. It's again whiskey, aromatics, and sweetener. This is one of the world's oldest cocktails, I think, hence the name. We went back to our Evan for the whiskey. For the sweetener, we just went with a simple syrup, which is just sugar, water. You heat it up in a pan, you dissolve the sugar. It's easy to do. Some people like to use actual sugar cubes or
Right.
sugar. You put it in there, you get that nice kind of,
Sludge.
granularity, slurry at
Yeah.
the bottom. Cane sugar. We went with the syrup just because it's an easy mix. Maple syrup is a good. People use
Oh, my
maple
goodness,
syrup.
yes.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot of variations on the sweetener. And as discussed previously, we went with the Peychaud's bitters, which has a different flavor than the Angostura. It is popular in New Orleans with the Sazerac. And we garnished with, again, a cherry and an orange twist. And you express the rind of the orange around the rim of the glass. And,
Like magic.
Get
And-
the oils.
you just get the smell
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
oils,
yeah.
and it is just lovely. So, cheers. We're
Cheers.
starting with
Yeah.
what may
Cheers.
be
Cheers.
one of
Cheers.
the world's most popular
Cheers.
drinks. Cheers.
Tarek, cheers.
Cheers. It's like coming home.
Yeah.
One of
Delicious.
as our families were growing up together, we would often host a party at Halloween, and I have a very fond memory of mixing these and drinking these with the three of us.
Yes.
As we sat and were irresponsible parents.
Right.
And,
And what really helped sort of flavor the beverage was the bitterness of the stink eye that we were getting from both our children and our spouses.
I'm going to say the two of you.
what?
Because the
Was that
one
the-
Halloween in particular where you really brought those out, my wife, Marissa, was there enjoying them while I was off with the kids.
Oh,
I
I recall
collecting
I recall
candy.
the chopper came out.
That came later.
Oh, okay.
Different.
Okay.
Certain village people.
Yeah, this is. I think this is my go-to cocktail.
You can't go wrong, right?
No.
And I think a lot of times it's used as kind of a, you go into a bar, you order an old fashioned, and you see how they make it.
Right.
You can sort of see
It's your
like,
barometer.
Yeah.
your barometer is, and you get different versions of it. You get, the sugar cube with the bitters on top and the cherry, and then you muddle it all together, or the orange as well.
Yeah.
And you make sort of a mash at the bottom.
Yeah.
I do like that one.
Right. I've tried that with the sugar cube.
Yeah, because you wind up with it reminds me of, when you were young and you would get like the cornflakes or the total
Cheerios.
cereal.
Yes.
But your mother would let you add a spoonful of sugar or something.
And you put 4.
And you'd wind up with this slurry at the bottom
delicious.
of cereal dust mixed with undissolved sugar.
and
milk.
Sugar. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a strong Gen X core memory.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nutrition in the bottom of
Absolutely.
that. A lot of
As
love.
with the same level of nutrition in this old fashioned.
Less nutrition, more joy. This is, I have a fond memory of my oldest son, Jacob. When he turned 21, we did a trip up to Seattle.
Oh, nice.
And we did the walk through the rain up to a
Wait, you
bar.
have a son? No,
I got a couple.
No,
2 I know of.
we don't know.
There might be third or fourth in other states. TBD. No, but we walked up, it was a good Seattle summer. It was raining. We walked up the street to a bar. He had just turned 21. And his first official drink was an old fashioned.
Oh,
Nice.
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 It's magical.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. And Mike and I have gone to, we've gone to a couple occasions where we've brought some of the pre-mixed old fashions.
Yeah.
A contemptible product.
But as I recall,
a less
didn't
fun.
stop you from drinking it.
Yeah, exactly. Copious amounts of.
Yeah.
And I believe if I'm correct me, I think the response that Mike had was 10 out of 10 would drink again.
Well, that is
Still
funny.
delicious.
There's just the joy of
Oh, yeah.
making
Yes,
it, though,
that's-
right? There is,
Part of the joy of the cocktail.
Yeah.
And everybody is waiting around you
Gathered around.
with expectations.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're just
It's like Christmas morning.
squeezing, expressing
It's not
the
really
orange.
smacking people's hands.
Yes.
as they're reaching.
Yeah.
You can tell we've had 3 cocktails already.
This is comedy gold.
This is what our 80 subscribers are tuned in for.
And if you go back and watch our bourbon episode, you may have gotten a pre-reference to the slurry of sugar at the bottom of the barrel.
Oh, we talked about that there.
Maybe.
It's a core reference.
You would never know unless you go back and reference it. But it is.
And watch all, not just the first 3 minutes.
Yeah. But it's, and this is a shared experience, especially if you have, bigger families where you go on vacation and you take the old pack of all the cereals.
Yes.
And the oldest gets to choose. And
They take the tricks.
Frosted Flakes goes first.
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms are gone.
Pick all the
Tricks are
marshmallows
gone. And then the last is like, you're lucky to get cornflakes. You might get Wheaties.
Or Cheerios.
Total.
And then you're like, scrambling to find the packet of sugar.
For some reason, corn pops were not popular. Although later in life, I have come to appreciate the corn
Agreed.
pops.
I agree with that. Yeah.
But you would get total.
It's a weird,
Special
it's a
K.
weird blend of cocktails, alcohol, and Gen X memories of cereal.
Cereal. True. Well, this was a great way to the classic cocktail, bourbon cocktail, to finish it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're, of course, always reaching out to our viewers for recommendations. We're having discussions that, we're going to come back around and do another beer episode, maybe a couple more wine episodes. We've talked about doing ryes amongst ourselves. We've talked
Mezcal.
Mezcal.
I'm wide open to doing mezcal.
Yeah.
Or tequila. You are a tequila aficionado.
And I switched over to mezcal. I think I like mezcal more than
A
tequila.
little bit of that
Okay,
smokiness.
okay.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be averse to doing a gin episode because we could do the gins,
Gin,
and we
and
could do
then
some
finish
gin
it off
cocktails.
with
we could do a Negroni,
Gin Negronis.
Follow it
a
up.
Manhattan.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, a martini, a gin martini.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's
Vodka
the beauty
martini.
of alcohol. There's the variety of every category is amazing. So please, leave us your recommendations of what you want to see next. Because we've got beers, we've got wines, we've got spirits, and we're just scratching the surface.
Right. And I mean, we have we acknowledge that we've got a viewer in Europe. We've got a viewer or two in Canada. So whatever your recommendations.
Canada. We had a surprising amount of Canadian viewers.
And if y'all are ever,
Cheers,
ever,
Cheer.
ever come down to the States, you can
Don't look us
survive
up,
you
but
can make the border crossing. You're welcome to join us. We're looking for always looking for
Or we'll go
drinking
up there.
buddies. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll
absolutely.
go north.
Canadian whiskey.
Ooh.
Good stuff.
Oh yeah.
There's
Good
an
stuff.
there's an episode.
You know, I'm surprised we're not drinking some right now. Okay.
All
All right.
Thank you for tuning in.
Tarek, we're sorry you're not here.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
need to pour one out for Tarek.
Pour one out for
Not
our sick homie.
literally, but almost, yeah.
I'll pour one
Yeah.
out.
Our dauntless, our fearless producer is not here to help
Oh,
us
yes.
today.
That is off doing a wine internship, so good for him. But we do miss you because you've been great for us.
Yeah, if there's any diminishment of the quality of this episode, it's your fault. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning.
It is still before noon, and
We're done.
As always, we've shared some facts. We've given you our opinion. Don't take our word for it because we have
Pour
judgment.
judgment.
It's like 3 lines. How is it?
Like, where's he going with this?
Hey, good read.
We didn't have a good read.